shit. Play it, knock it out. Okay. All of my diamonds are fake, but I'm so fly as a swan on the lake. My focus is more so on cake, and not the cake that you bake. Interpret these words, no mistake. I'm speaking the truth, heaven's sake. 13 years in, check the date. Keeping freshness always on my plate. Wait. Can't push it, I can't take the fate. When time ain't me, it's too late. Plus, I'm trying to be great. Leave a legacy, no one debates. Dropping knowledge, never leave me hate. Shark, bait, check, mate. Been on my grind for a dub, bro, I've been a boss. I believe, so watch me achieve. No salt, no sauce. Up early, I'm planting my seeds. Trying to breathe, no cough. Please believe I'm at ease in the weeds while you get lost. While you get mouse. All in my ear with that bullshit. Alright, bro, brief.
Okay, so the Tulsa Race Massacre, June 1st, 1921. Now, it has been called the single worst racial violence in American history. Now, it was carried out on the ground. It was also carried out through a private plane. And it destroyed 35 square blocks of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Now, at the time, this was called Black Wall Street. So it was one of the wealthiest black communities in America. Now, in my opinion, Greenwood, Tulsa. In my opinion, it was niggers that did it. Now, like I said before, nigger is not about race. It's not about skin color. It's about your mind state. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna hate on somebody that's being great, then you're a nigger. Plain and simple. And it's a tragedy, no matter what a person looks like, that you would hate a person because they're doing better than you. Now, the remedy to that is get your weight up. You know what I'm saying? Don't hate on the next man for being successful. Do your best. If you see a person being successful, emulate what they do in your own way. Don't destroy what they have because you don't have that. That's some nigger shit. You know what I'm saying? I mean, be a nigga. Just talk shit. You know what I'm saying? Don't be a nigger and destroy. And I repeat, it's not about skin color, in my opinion. It's just an opinion. Alright? But there's definitions for a reason. So, with the Greenwood Massacre, you have these little nigger towns around the black community that you want to destroy because they living better than you, and you feel like they shouldn't be living better than you because you feel like this was your land. But in reality, it was the Native Americans' land first. Europeans, Spaniards, and whatnot came over here and took land that was already occupied. Did a genocide. Alright. So that's a Black Wall Street in a nutshell. Alright. Second point. The Chicago race riots, 1919. Now, this was a violent racial conflict provoked by, once again, if you read it online, it's gonna say white people. But in my mind, it's not white people, it's niggers. Okay? Feel me on that. Now, this black community was rioting for 6 days straight. Now, 38 people died. That's 23 black and then 15 niggers. Now, skin color of these people was white. Mentality of these people was niggers. Plain and simple. Now, it was about 2,000 injuries. Well, it was multiple injuries, excuse me. Multiple injuries, and about 2,000 people lost their homes. Now, most of those people were black people, but niggers lost their home as well because, when there's conflict, not everybody's gonna sit down and take that shit. You know what I'm saying? Black people, skin color, white, brown, green, yellow, fuchsia, is gonna fight back. You know what I'm saying? Even back then in the day. Now, this was considered to be the Red Summer, I believe it said, and there was 25 riots this Red Summer, and unfortunately, the Chicago race riot was the worst. It was arson, murders, looting. Hands down, one of the worst riots in history. And from what I'm reading from that, it was all about migration. They didn't want people that didn't look like them to move in their area. But, you can't stop people from migrating. That's what made this country. Immigrants migrating from all over the world to create this amazing country of democracy. So think about that when somebody that doesn't look like you moves into your neighborhood. They might just be your savior. And I'm not saying, God, but I'm just saying, there's plenty of people that walk around this earth that don't look like you, that are only here to help. So, with that being said, wave at your neighbors. Shake your neighbor's hands. They might have a key to something that might unlock your future. Now, I don't really like to dwell on race, and I put that in quotation marks because I believe that there's only one race, and that's the human race. In my opinion, once again, it's all about people's soul, all right? I don't like to dwell on the indiscretions of the past. And the reason why is because I'm all about building the future. But you have to know where you came from to know where you're at today. And you should never wipe out history, because history always repeats itself. It just repeats itself in different forms. There's always going to be conflict, regardless. There's always going to be closed-minded people who don't understand the greater good. Unfortunately, there's more negative people than there is positive. That's why you have leaders and you have other people. But, I would say followers, you know what I'm saying? But that's not a term that I created, because everybody has to be a follower to be a leader at some point in time. You have to learn from somebody. So I'm going to put that to the side for now, because I don't want to make this into a racial issue. I'm all about bringing people together, understanding the past, understanding what people did wrong in the past, but learning from it and moving forward in the future, not holding any ill will towards people because of their skin color. Because my friend, if you're holding ill will because of a person's skin color, then you might be a nigger. And I'm just saying. All right. Now, my next topic on this first extended version is, why am I on IG? Because people ask me that all the time. To me, it's self-explanatory. Business. Connecting with people to further my mission. And my mission is for my family to eat forever. Plain and simple. I mean, I've always spoke that into existence, even since Yay High. But apparently people don't listen. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty simple. You know, you can tell the difference between somebody that's playing on IG and somebody that's building on IG. At one point in time, I was building 6 lanes. Somehow, you know, I got knocked down to like 3 or 4, but it don't even matter because regardless, the only person that can stop you is you. People can do whatever they want. They can take away whatever they want. They can talk shit. They can beat you up. But regardless, as long as you stay focused on your grind, then that means that you're gonna shine in due time. Nothing happens overnight. That's right. Okay? Think about the Wright brothers, the first ones to take flight. That shit didn't happen overnight. They worked, they crashed shit, they burned shit, they fixed shit, but they got it right because they stayed on the right path. All right, my next topic is the presidency. All right, so I catch flack from people all the time because I support Donald Trump. But I support any president that's in office, regardless. Why? Because he worked himself into the position to be the commander-in-chief. It's no different than me supporting Barack Obama, Bill Clinton, anybody else, you know, that the masses of people like, you know what I mean? Unfortunately, I've been labeled the bad guy in life by people that don't even know me. Alright? And I stated before, as far as Donald Trump goes, I don't know that man well enough to make an educated, you know what I'm saying, decision. When you're in an office position, then that's your job, man. Take rappers, for instance. There's rappers out there that be talking about selling drugs, which I don't condone, killing people, which I don't condone, calling women bitches, which I don't condone. But people will support the shit out of them. I never heard Donald Trump call nobody no bitch. I never seen Donald Trump smack no woman. I'm just saying. Think about it. People will crucify a person that they don't even know, but will support genocide. I'm just saying, you know, it don't make no sense to me. And then people want to look at me like I'm crazy because I think Donald Trump is funny. You know what I'm saying? He makes me laugh. I'm just saying. I knew he was gonna win. I woke up before the election and I knew he was gonna win. And I knew he was gonna win because America needed him in office. We just went through 8 years of the great Barack Obama. All right? That caused a lot of friction. It did. It was great for the black community. And once again, I'm not talking about skin color, but it was great for the world for Barack Obama to win. All right? Then he did a great job. He did his job. He did what he was supposed to do. And in life, there's rules and regulations. His time was up. Thank you for keeping America great, Barack Obama. This is one of the
niggas calling me a woman. Well, you not walking in my stilettos. Y'all niggas is Pinocchio. I guess that makes me Geppetto. On that petrol, Shervin
People
on deck,
feel
bro.
he
Let's
didn't do a
go.
good
See
job,
who really hoe and
but
who be G.I. Joe.
records show that
I done came
employment
about
did
the
go
dirt,
up.
flipping IG network, aiming
It
to raise
did.
my net worth. Been
And
a
money
boss
was
since birth,
flowing
so pardon me,
a little
excuse
bit
me,
more.
this is
It
my
did.
turf. To
I'm just
infinity
saying,
and beyond, drifting
it's
through
people
the
that fall into
universe. Catch my
situations
drift
that,
on my
you
drip
know,
as I rip
you can't
through the
always look at a
atmospheric
person
riff. Crime
for
dog, fret
the
McGriff,
negative
overhauling night
that
shift.
society
Understand
puts
my
on them.
mind state. Fuck
You
a
have to
brand,
judge
let's
a person
motivate.
by the
At a
numbers.
greater gator rate.
You know why?
Investigate the truth
Because
of
numbers
hate.
never lie.
Hate only kills, and time only
Right.
reveals
Now, my
the
last
approval
point of the
of
day,
seals. Navy not great,
like
no
I said,
hamburger hill.
this is a work in
Cats
progress,
up or get wet
alright?
up, but regardless
So,
of the situation, don't
you know,
let up.
to me,
Hit the gas, hit the
I ain't
gas.
gonna lie to
Through the
you.
district, through
I'm
the
like really
district.
like disgusted
Hashtag
with
my
how this is gonna turn. Oh shit!
Lift it,
How this is
unscripted,
gonna
but
turn out,
lifted, split it,
because
fantastically gifted as I rip it. Niggas calling me a woman? Well, you not walking in my
Because
stilettos. Y'all niggas is Pinocchio. I guess that
I like
makes
to
me Geppetto.
perfect things that I
On
do.
that petrol, Shervin on deck, bro. Let's go. See who really
I
hoe
like to
and who
perfect
be
things that I do.
G.I. Joe.
Alright, that's one of my fucking,
I
you
done
know what I'm
came
saying,
about
flaws.
the dirt, flipping
Because there's
IG
no such thing as
network,
perfection.
aiming to raise my net
Alright?
worth, been a boss since
And that's the
birth.
truth of
So
the matter.
pardon me, excuse
Alright?
me, this
You
is
can
my
try
turn.
to
To
perfect something,
infinity
but
and beyond,
it ain't
drifting
gonna happen.
through the
There's no such thing as
universe.
perfect.
Drifting through the
There's
universe.
such thing as almost
On some
perfect,
shit you just can't
or
rehearse. This
being
verse is
content
for
with
those
what
who
you do.
choose to converse.
But in reality, there's
And
no such
link
thing
up
as
to
perfect.
change the world for
So
better
anyway,
gains. I swear it's getting
last note,
interesting. I'm
less
breaking my
serious.
chains.
I don't like to
through
be serious. I
wire
like to have a good
frames.
time, man.
Lit paving with
I
paper
lived a rough
planes.
life.
Better
I'm
said,
just being
paper
honest.
jet. Like
So,
Zach
with
Crockett,
my
I demand
time
respect.
left on this earth,
Pumping no
I
beats,
just want to have a
rapping
good
on
time.
another set.
I just want to
You
spread
can
love.
bet, Chevron on
You know what I
deck
mean?
with that intellect.
I just want to do
no
good
regrets.
things, man. I don't like to dwell on negative
Section.
stuff.
Add niggas to
You
my
know,
bone
you learn from negative,
collection.
yes. But what you do with
Catch it at
negative
the resurrection.
is all on you.
Should've moved
Turn
in the
negative
right
into
direction.
positive.
Niggas
anyway,
calling me a woman.
I'ma do a
Well, you
movie
not
review,
walking in my stilettos. Y'all niggas
So,
is Pinocchio. I
I
guess
seen
that
this
makes
movie
me
a while ago. I'm sure it's
Geppetto.
probably like
On
out
that
on
petrol,
DVD or maybe
Shervin
on
on deck,
cable. I
bro.
really don't
Let's
watch
go.
TV,
See
so
who
you know, I
really
spend
hoe and who
7
be
days a
G.I.
week
Joe.
building and working on
I done
things.
came about the dirt,
So,
flipping
I'm gonna
IG
review
network, aiming to raise
the-
my net
the
worth.
movie
Been a
Joker,
boss since birth.
right?
So pardon
Now, a
me,
lot of people
excuse
didn't
me,
like
this
it.
is my turn.
I think
To
people just
infinity
didn't
and
understand
beyond,
it
drifting
personally.
through the universe.
To me, it was in black and white. This guy was dealing with not knowing where he came from. He also had a mild state of the crazies, okay? And on top of that, he lived with his mom. That would drive anybody crazy. Now, second, his job was to be a clown. Okay, okay? Let that marinate. Alright? So basically this guy was getting his ass kicked all around town. Then after it was said and done, he loses his job. Okay? People reach breaking points. That's the truth of the matter. When you're doing everything in your will to try to do something right, but the world keeps smacking you down, killing everything that you're doing, you reach a breaking point. I've reached mine a few times in my life. One time I almost destroyed my life because I reached a breaking point and I didn't have any help from anybody. So I kind of sympathize a little bit with a person that's trying to do, no, I sympathize a lot with a person that's trying their best to do right, but nobody will help them. It's ridiculous. Some people just have that black cloud over their head. Anyway, some people fold when they come into situations like that, and some people turn bold. Joker turned bold. As a matter of fact, no, he didn't turn bold. He went ultra, all right? It's funny because he basically started a revolution in Gotham City, if you pay attention to the story. Now, in my opinion, most people follow Joker over all the other Batman villains, all right? I mean, it's pretty much, you know what I'm saying, he's like the most celebrated villain in the Batman series, in my opinion, all right? From what I gathered from the storyline was that Joker had enough of being ran over and ridiculed and took matters into his own hands. He was celebrated by some as a vigilante, but wanted to be the law because he murdered some quote unquote upper class citizens. he was wanted by the law because he murdered on the train some quote unquote higher class citizens that was niggers, basically. Because they was fucking with him for no reason. That makes you a nigger. Now, in my opinion, class is determined by character, not your status in community. Because some people are just born into a high status, but they're fucking dickheads. So, then, when life is starting to get real for our favorite villain, he decides to give stand-up comedy a try. In his abused mind, he feels the backstory of one of his most Anyway, sometimes I'll be writing and I don't know what the hell I'm doing. But anyway, if you follow the Batman movies, I suggest you watch the Joker and find out that most people can go either way in life. All right. The more people choose to uplift people instead of mistreat people, then there will be more heroes in the world. All right, instead of villains. Okay. You see somebody down on their luck, man, don't kick them in their face. That's the moral to this story. You know, you see somebody trying their hardest in life to be somebody, you don't knock them down. You lift them up. You give them a hand. You know what I'm saying? Or pat them on the back. You know, and be like, you know what, dude? I can't help you, but I see what you're doing. I respect what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Keep up the great work. Don't kick them in the ass. Because then you find somebody on your show with a fucking pistol blowing your fucking brain out. Bruh, brief, man. I'll be back.